Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here in the vintage back room at Baxter Cycle in the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa. Check out all these wonderful motorcycles just hanging out. It's a really cold day here, but we've got a really hot motorcycle over here. I noticed thing sitting in the corner over yonder and I thought I'd pull it out. I think it just came in maybe. It is a 1963 BSA Rocket Gold Star 650. That is a Gold Star frame. A Gold Star was a single 500 that has had a BSA 650 A10 engine placed in it. So lightweight frame, more powerful engine, about a 50 horsepower engine. An A10 engine is the BSA 650 that is what they call a pre-unit. A pre-unit means the transmission and the engine are two separate things. With the later models, the newer ones, the engine and the transmission were hooked together and they call those units. A very good looking motorcycle. I like red. Most of the ones that were made were red. They made about 1,500 of these. Of that, about 270 some were scramblers, off-road bikes. Something interesting to me about this particular motorcycle, and we don't have very good lighting here, but I kind of think this side is actually the more attractive side. They call this the near side. The left side is always called the near side on a British bike. It's got a bigger panel right here, this big red panel. You know, we've got the primary case there, a good-looking primary case. That little beauty bulge right there, very well polished. You know, the pipe, a lot of good looks here. The chrome right here in the tank. Absolutely gorgeous red tank. Not taking anything away from this side. But what a gorgeous thing, huh? Some things I noticed looking at it. You know, look at this gas inlet here. Little hinge here. When you spin this thing, it runs these out, and it has a friction lock on there. So that's how that works. It's got this little vent tube here. That's kind of cool, isn't it? This is this little rubber plug here. You pull that out and there's a big bolt in there, and that's how you get the tank off. Just a gorgeous tank. Look at that red. The gold pinstripe, the chrome, big old BSA badging right there. Isn't that just gorgeous? Just beautiful. Look at those bars. This is kind of neat too. We'll talk about that in a minute. Look, going back down to the engine. So it is an overhead valve, air-cooled twin. Isn't it? Alloy head. You know, metal, steel cylinders, iron cylinders, whatever you're going to call it. Let's see what else we can learn about this hot rod engine. Generator right there. Not sure where the push rods go. Maybe up through these tubes back here. They're cast into the head. So that means it'd be internal. I don't see if those are on this side. I don't feel them on this side. So I don't know if the push rods on a BSA are just in the back. If you all know, please post. It's a magneto engine. There's a magneto right there. You know, isn't that just gorgeous? There's the BSA logo. This is probably a tach drive right here. Yep, it goes up to the tachometer. Speedometer drive comes off of the transmission right there. And that goes up this way to that. That is for the clutch pull, the kickstart, the shifter. It's got a 4-speed transmission. There is the oil tank. It's a dry sump engine. Interestingly enough, this is the choke right here. See, choke on. Turn this that way, it's choke on. That way, choke off. It's a single carburetor, monoblock carburetor, a monoblock air cleaner right there. This is either a heat shield or it's there to keep the any spilling gas off of the magneto. I'm not sure. You know, different people think it's different things. Maybe it's both. Here's the oil lines back here. I think this is how you adjust the primary chain right here. You move the transmission forward and backwards with this thing right here. Look at that frame. Isn't that neat? Battery back in there. Look at that tubular swing arm right there. Just gorgeous old bike. I don't know if those are Girling shocks or not. Love the seat. They always have the overstuffed back seat on these BSAs. Beautiful chrome pipe. You know, every detail on this thing is just, you know, phenomenal. So something I noticed was the rims. And so I asked about them. Those are called Dunlop shouldered rims. They're aluminum. They're supposed to be ultra strong. They've got this real thick shoulder, gives them a little extra strength. They're alloy, so they're lighter. And then the brake, that was something that jumped out at me. That's a single leading shoe brake. Check that out. However, it's got an extra wide shoe. So I think that they call it a 190 millimeter shoe. And so that, you know, that's wider than the standard shoe. And the idea was it was simpler to set up, simpler to keep running well, and it actually worked pretty well is what I'm told. It does look larger than a regular front brake, I would say. You know, it's got the telescoping forks. Look at this chrome through here. A very, very beautiful, you know, the headlight and all that neat stuff. Just, you know, classic motorcycle all the way through and through. Look at all this detail. I love, look at this. Just beautiful work, you know. Lovely, lovely. Look at this on the back here. BSA 650 Rocket Gold Star. I like it. I like it a lot. Running around this way. Look at all the detail. Shiny fenders. Everything's metal, of course. Fuel on and off. External oil lines right there. The other end of the magneto. The horn, big old horn. Chrome horn. Mechanical brake for the rear. Look at this. This is chrome back here. Isn't that something? Chrome. Everything is just shiny. So you all know I am about brakes. Check this out. Electronics of the day right there. That's how the... Oh! Look at that. The brake light works. That's the actuator right there. So mechanical brake. Pivot point right here. Push there. Mechanical over to there. And the lever. Very, very direct. Not sure what's behind here. Monoblock carburetor. Just a lot of good looking work. It was very easy to put on the center stand. A lot of times, sometimes older bikes are a little difficult to put on the center stand. It's got a good old side stand right there. Look at those wheels. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? The whole back end. Very beautiful. Jumping over here, we've got these gauges. And what I noticed about them, okay, we can see that. Look right there. There's rubber bushings between the gauge and the forks. So give them a little bit of extra anti-vibration, you know, the mechanical tack drive right there. Same here. That looks like an electrical, it must be for a light. Did you go back in there? I guess the tack doesn't get a light, huh? Nifty, huh? There's an amp gauge right there. So if your engine was running at low speed, let's say at idle or something, you might see discharging. In other words, you're using more voltage, more wattage than you're producing. Give it some gas and it'll jump into the positive area. The switch here for lights. Let's see if we can make that work. No, I guess we can't. Maybe the key has to be on. Not sure where the key would be on one of these. May not have a key. Isn't that just gorgeous? Smith gauges. Are they chronometrics? Yes, they are. That one is. So is this one. Both the tach and the speedometer. There's a guy down the road, I always mention him. He can do anything to these gauges, and he can rebuild them inside. He can recalibrate them. He can put new faces on them. He can put new glass in them. He can recrimp them. He's got all the gear. I'll put his website right up top. Isn't that just neat? Just beautiful as heck. Steering dampener right there. I've never owned a bike where I've used that. I had a Suzuki that had it, but I never used it. So this is for the magneto right here. That's the magneto right there. I think, let's see if we can get it to, it must be internal because I can't see it moving. But that's how you would adjust your timing on the bike. I'm just guessing, that's a kill switch. Probably a high-low button right there and a horn right there. Clutch over here. No decompression release because you don't need it apparently. Over here is the handbrake. The fuel, of course. Single cable for the carburetor. This is before the 2-cable rule. But look at all that detail there. Isn't that something? Just beautiful. I love this kind of stuff. You know, look at this down here. Little openings in the brake here. I don't know if those are supposed to have covers on them or not, but you know, and the texture of this thing, maybe we can see it better on this side. It's got an interesting finish on it. I'm not sure what that is. I am in awe. What a gorgeous machine. Running down this way, look at these chrome stays right here. On both sides. Wow. Out to the fender, I get it. Very nice. Very nice. What a beautiful bike. What a great find here in the old vintage room of the old Baxter cycle, huh? So now if y'all are interested in a bike like this, a new used Triumph, Royal Enfield, classic bridger bike of any type, need parts, accessories, thingamajigs, doodads, coats, jackets, gear of any type. As far as vintage parts goes, Baxter Cycle has the largest collection of vintage British motorcycle parts in North America. For some reason I have a hard time saying that. It doesn't roll off my tongue very well. They've got buildings full of parts. Now it's a really cold day here. It's about 2 degrees above zero. So I'm not going to be doing any motorcycle riding. But if it's a beautiful day where y'all are at, get out there and ride, my friends. Life is good. Wahoo! 1, 2, 3. Whoa!